Co-plaintiffs Cynthia Smith and Frankie Murphy are suing Bob Mitchell in the amount of $6,430. Ms. Smith and Ms. Murphy claim Mr. Mitchell harassed them during a cab ride because they are a same-sex couple. Mr. Mitchell claims he kicked the plaintiffs out of his cab because they refused to comply with his rules and called the police because they didn't pay their cab fare.
In the matter of Cynthia Smith and Frankie Murphy versus Bob Mitchell, I understand that the plaintiffs are suing Mr. Mitchell, who's the cab driver, for alleged discrimination and for damages to some property, and you're asking for $6,430. Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Now, who's going to be the spokesperson initially for the two of you?
Would you like me to do it?
I'll have my wife do it.
Yeah.
All right, then I will call on you later. Which one? What's your name?
Hello, my name is Cynthia Smith.
All right, so this is Ms. Murphy.
Yeah.
Okay. So you may be seated for the moment, and I will get back to you. All right, Ms. Smith, let me hear what happened.
Well, Your Honor, my wife and I are here today suing Mr. Mitchell, the main reason being discrimination against our sexual orientation, as well as court fees that we had to pay and deal with after being arrested when we were kicked out of his cab because of the discrimination against our sexual orientation.
Okay, so tell me what happened that you think he discriminated against you.
So the night started, we were going to Frankie's award ceremony. We knew that we'd probably have a couple drinks at the dinner, so we responsibly took a cab there. The cab there, we had no problem at all. The dinner went seamlessly, and then on the way back, that's where the trouble began when we got in Mr. Mitchell's car. So we got in the cab, we gave him our address, we took off.
That was the destination where you wanted to go?
Our home address, correct.
And he picked you up from the restaurant where the event took place?
Correct.
And what state were you in at that point?
New York City.
What state of intoxication were you in? Or state of sobriety were you in?
Well, my wife was receiving an award, and I was representing her, so neither one of us was intoxicated. We had maybe 2 cocktails each.
Okay.
So we got in Mr. Mitchell's cab. There was no problem for about 10 minutes until I gave my wife a kiss. She looked absolutely beautiful that night. I was proud of her for winning an award. It was by no means inappropriate making out. There was no grabbing. It was a kiss. And he began screaming, no, 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 no kissing in my cab. If you guys continue this, I'm going to kick you out.
No kissing in my cab. If you continue, I'm going to kick you out.
Correct.
Now, how far did you have to go? What was your destination in miles from where he picked you up?
I'm not entirely sure of miles, but I'd say about 30 minutes.
Okay. So you got another 20 minutes to go in the car, right?
Correct, yes. So when he began telling us that we couldn't kiss in his cab, Frankie spoke up.
Okay, so now let's let Ms. Murphy pick it up. Thank you. Now, you can take it from there.
So after we kissed
Ooh,
for
she had to take a
maybe,
deep breath.
after we kissed for maybe about 10 seconds, he started yelling and screaming at us, no, 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 I don't do this. I don't let anyone do this in my cab. If you continue, I'll have to stop and you'll have to get out. I heard him utter the words, and
Ooh,
so
okay.
I asked him if he does this to most of his patrons, would he do this to a straight couple? People kiss in the back of cabs all the time. Why us? And we weren't making out. It was just a quick peck. It wasn't that big of a deal. And he continued to scream and yell and asked us to get out and pulled over.
And what did you do as he continued to scream and yell? You sat there quietly, right?
No, I defended
okay.
myself.
So let me tell you. So tell me what you did too.
I asked if he treats all people like this, whether it's lesbian or straight or gay, if it's just us specifically.
And what did he reply?
He said, no, he treats all people the same way.
Okay. And then what did you say?
I said, well, we're not kissing anymore, and you're still screaming at me. We were yelling and screaming at each other, and he wasn't even paying attention to the road, so we could have easily gotten in an accident.
But you didn't.
But we didn't.
Okay.
Eventually, he pulled over, and Cynthia got out of the cab.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Mablean.
It has to be a well-lit area. I can't just leave him anyway. Okay?
But
Now,
they don't have to pay you when you drop them off.
no. They do have to pay because
Really?
it's my time and my services.
And later,
And he tells me, hey, you know what, just park there, you're only going to be in a minute, it's no problem. And I was in there about 40 minutes. I walk outside, parking ticket on my windshield, $500.
Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Cynthia Smith and Frankie Murphy, who are suing Bob Mitchell for discrimination and legal fees.
And then you didn't pay.
Well, he came chasing after us, harassing us in the cab, yelling at us, saying that we owe him money, and I don't feel that we owe him anything after being treated that way. It is his job to get us there safely, and he didn't do that, so I don't feel we owe him anything. He proceeded to say he was going to call the police, and I willingly said, please do.
So what's the discrimination?
You called us discriminatory names.
Yes.
Consistently, and asked us to leave our cab because we kissed.
All right. But he pulled over and told you to get out.
Yes, after the Escalade, he pulled
All right,
over.
so let me hear from you, Mr. Mitchell.
Your Honor, my name is Bobby Mitchell. Okay? I've been driving in my cabs for a long time. Now, I've seen it all. All right? And I happen to know that when people get in the car and they start kissing and things like that, they tend to escalate.
To what?
To full-on make-out sessions. I've had one girl try to give this other guy stuff in the back seat. I've seen it all, When people smoke, I don't want that in my car. This is something I have to pay for, take care of the car, so the car's my responsibility. If I don't want people making out and kissing in my car, it's my right to do that. Now, I warned them.
It is?
Yeah. Well, I have here justifications for refusing passengers right here. The following are permitted reasons to refuse transport. And one of those reasons is if the passenger is being disorderly or intoxicated. Now, I believe that they were being disorderly. I believe that they were being disorderly, okay? And I already knew.
By kissing?
No. It was not just them kissing, okay? But after I warned them, she called me homophobic, okay? And then it escalated from there.
You are.
After she called me homophobic, I then in turn may have said some things I may not remember.
Now, all of a sudden, what you said. You know exactly what she said, but I may have said, you know what came out your mouth. Come on now.
I can't confirm or deny what I may or may not have said, Your Honor.
Okay, so then,
then
hold on. If you don't know what you said, and they said clearly what you said, then I have to believe that's what you said.
Okay, so I called them the B word. It's not something that I like to throw around like that. Because I love my mother, okay? I don't like to throw stuff around like that. But still, if she's being aggressive in my car after I've asked her to stop already.
How is she being aggressive?
She's being aggressive by calling me homophobic and sexist. She thinks I'm picking on them because they're women or because they're lesbians. It has nothing to do with that. I have a no PDA rule in my car. That may not be.
For those people who don't know what PDA is, explain it.
It's public displays of affection. Anything that you can do in your private bedroom, I don't want to see that. Okay?
So we have to sit at other sides of the cab?
Do you mind if I finish? Thanks. All right. This is not your bedroom. Okay? My backseat is not your bedroom. I got a job. My job is to get you from point A to point B. All right? Now, when they had gotten out of my car, after she was being belligerent, okay, I pulled them over.
I haven't heard belligerent, so you better tell me something.
She was just acting crazy. That's all. She
was
just calling me names, fighting with me.
Okay.
Calling me names. Well, not physically, but we're having a fight right now.
So you guys are just yelling at each other?
Yeah, we're yelling at each other in the middle of the city. Okay. And I had dropped them off in a well-lit area, as stated what I'm supposed to do if I'm going to kick somebody out. It has to be a well-lit area. I can't just leave them anywhere. Okay?
But they don't have to pay you when you drop them off?
No. They do have to pay because it's my time and my services. Okay?
But you didn't take them where they asked you to take them.
Even though I didn't take them to where they were trying to go, I would have had they been obedient. Had they just listened to my rules of cab.
Well, actually, okay, so where you can have threats of harassment.
What happened when he kicked you out? When the police came, what happened?
We both explained the story, and we were arrested on site.
And you were arrested for?
For petty theft.
For failure to pay the fare?
Yes.
And how much was that fare? $20?
$20.
And then what happened?
Then
we went to... on that?
Yes, we did. I had to get that changed because I have a very serious job, and if I had a misdemeanor on my record, I would have lost my job.
You hired an attorney?
Yes, we did.
So you were defended?
Yes.
You had a trial?
Yes.
You lost?
No, we had the case lower. We pled guilty.
You did a bargaining, a plea bargain?
Yes.
So you pled to disorderly conduct?
Yes.
You were given a fine?
Yes.
Correct. And so this $1,430 is your attorney's fees and costs and all of that?
Yes.
And you think he should pay that?
Yes. Your Honor, he also didn't comply to the drivers of taxi cabs rules and responsibilities, which actually says that threats, harassment, abuse while performing the duties and responsibilities of a license, you cannot do those things. You also have to give courtesy to your passengers, which definitely did not happen.
Let me see what you have. Because I'm reading drivers of taxi cabs, rules and responsibility. Yeah, you brought me the same thing, but...
We highlighted it.
And you can't arbitrarily set a rule of no kissing in the back of your car. You just cannot arbitrarily set the rule. I don't think you've proved discrimination. And I can't order him to pay your attorney's fees because you've already had a case before the court, and the court determined that you had committed a crime. I'm not going to order him to pay back your attorney's fees and stuff because that's on the cab fare issue. I'm going to call on the discrimination claim. And I'm going to order a payment of $2,500, judgment for the plaintiffs.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiffs. The defendant is ordered to pay $2,500.
Maybe you shouldn't be in the service industry if you're going to discriminate against people because of your own personal bias.
I don't have any beef with you or what you're about. But if I ask you to inspect my taxi, you should do that.
Coming up.
And he tells me, hey, you know what, just park there. You're only going to be in a minute. It's no problem. I was in there about 40 minutes. I walk outside, parking ticket on my windshield, $500.
Justice with Judge Mablean is suing Gerald Peterson in the amount of $500. Mr. Carter claims Mr. Peterson told him to park in a marked handicap space, which led to an expensive ticket. Mr. Peterson claims he's not responsible and doesn't owe Mr. Carter any money.
Mr. Carter, you're suing Mr. Peterson for $500 because of the ticket you got for parking in a handicapped space at his store. Is that right?
That's correct.
Oh, now you're really going to have to convince me why he's supposed to pay for your ticket.
We've been doing business for, I've known him about 3 years now. We go way back. He owns a construction supply place. I own a construction company. So we're doing a cabinet remodel. We're doing a kitchen remodel, and I get my cabinets from him. So we had the job set up for a Saturday morning. I show up. I get a call at 8 o'clock in the morning. Says, hey, man, my guys can't deliver the job. Something happened to our computer. You're going to have to come down in person and pick up the job, pick up the product. So I got my whole crew loaded up. We're ready to work. Now I got to leave them. I just dropped them off at the job site because now I got to go deal with this. I get to the job site. It's Saturday. It's crowded. The parking lot's full.
The job site or the construction
I'm sorry,
store?
The construction store.
Mm-hmm.
I get there. All the parking spaces are taken. There's one handicapped one left. Well, he meets me out front, and he tells me, hey, you know what, just park there. You're only going to be in a minute. It's no problem. I thought, all right, well, it's his store, no big deal. I go in. He personally does my order for me. I was glad, I was thankful for that. I go outside. I was in there about 40 minutes. I walk outside, parking ticket on my windshield, $500. So I go back in to talk to him about it. I said, hey, man, you said it was okay. You would obviously know if the meter maids come by and check the parking things. And he was like, hey, man, I don't know what to tell you, but you parked there. It's kind of all it is. And he was kind of busy because his computers were broken, so he was dealing with that.
Coming up.
I can't,
Two words.
Can't get on my tongue. I forgot.
Two words again. C and an F.
Lost my memory. I forgot.
I heard
What day was it?
Common sense.
You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean. We're back with the case of Alan Carter, who is suing Gerald Peterson for the cost of a parking ticket.
Did you tell him to park there?
Your Honor, yes, I did voluntarily recommend that he should park there, but briefly.
Voluntarily recommended that he should park there.
It was supposed to be brief, 40 minutes. I don't know how that inclined. Now, keep in mind, my computer system was down. Not only was his order affected, but several other of my customers' orders was affected as well. So I had a backlog.
Right.
Okay. Alan, I was helping you personally. Okay. I was helping you personally, and I did admit to get. Did I not offer to give you a bigger discount? Did I not offer to give you a bigger discount?
I think it was a discount.
Did I not?
It was 10%. About $200.
$200.
200
$10 and 10 cents. So it was a $200 discount?
Yes. But.
And why do you think he's responsible?
Well, because if he could have called me earlier or got the job there somehow. I don't know. Basically, if I had to lose more money because my guys were sitting still, I had 4 guys all getting paid, so I lost more than just this $500. 4 guys at 20, roughly they make anywhere 20 to 25 bucks an hour, so that's $100 an hour. This cost me about 3 hours total of downtime. So I lost another couple $100 right there, plus the actual $500.
If you're in my courtroom and the bailiff pisses you off, and I tell you to slap the bailiff, and you slap the bailiff, and he shoots you, is it my fault or your fault?
You're an accessory.
I am?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're part of the problem.
So
It's like if he stole a car and picked me up in it, we're both going to jail.
That's if he stole the car, but I didn't do anything. I said slap the bailiff.
Well, you recommended him to slap me or me to slap him, one of the two.
But he's a law enforcement officer that you know you're not supposed to slap.
Yeah, there's a little common sense there, but being it was...
What's that word? Say it again.
I can't.
Two words.
Can't got my tongue. I forgot.
Say those 2 words again. C and an S.
Lost my memory. I forgot.
I heard
What day
you.
was it?
Common sense. You said it yourself.
Judge Mablean's verdict when Justice with Judge Mablean returns. You're watching Justice with Judge Mablean.
When someone suggests to you that you do something and break the law, and you do it, then you have to suffer the consequences. They're not responsible for it. You took a chance. You took a risk. And you parked there.
But again, I wouldn't have been there if my order was filled like it was supposed to. And he told me, hey, it's only going to be 15 minutes.
But he gave you a $200 discount?
Yeah. I spent $10,000 a month every at least.
Okay. So I'm going to subtract the $200 discount. And not because he parked there and you're responsible for his parking, but because you are responsible for him losing money in his business due to the fact that the order was not delivered as agreed upon. So that's the order of the court. I'm going to order you to pay him an additional $300. Let's go to court.
All rise.
Judge Mablean has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $300.
I didn't get the judgment I was looking for, but I did get some money. I'm glad the judge saw. Business is business.
I thought we had a better understanding than that, but nonetheless, the judge is right. I should keep my business separate from